Susie Salmon was 14 years old when she died. She liked taking pictures. She liked the way light could freeze a moment forever. Maybe that's why she remembers everything so clearly. Because now, she's the one frozen in time. It was December 6, 1973. A normal day. The kind of day no one remembers until it becomes the most important day of your life. School had ended. The sky was dimming into that cold blue of early winter evenings. The air smelled like frost and earth. Susie pulled her coat tighter as she walked home, her boots brushing softly against the frozen ground. She was thinking about racing. The way he smiled. The way he looked at her like she was something rare. 14-year-old thoughts. Innocent. Hopeful. Alive. Then she saw him. George Harvey. A man who lived alone. A man who built dollhouses. A man no one really noticed. He stepped out of the cornfield like he belonged there. "Hey, Susie," he said, his voice calm, almost friendly. She paused. Something felt off. But not enough to run. Not enough to scream. That's how evil works sometimes. It doesn't look like a monster. It looks like someone you almost trust. He told her about something hidden in the field. An underground space. A place kids could hang out. Safe. Secret. Harmless. Susie hesitated. But curiosity, and politeness, pulled her forward. She followed him. Step by step. Into the cornfield. The world grew quieter. The road disappeared behind her. The sky felt farther away. And suddenly, she realized. This wasn't right. But by then, it was too late. There are moments in life where everything changes in a second. This was one of them. Fear. Sharp. Immediate. Suffocating. She tried to leave. Tried to fight. Tried to understand. But the world became chaos. Darkness. Silence. And then, nothing. When Susie opened her eyes again, she wasn't in the cornfield. She wasn't anywhere she recognized. She was in her heaven. It wasn't clouds and angels. It was something else. A place made just for her. A place where the grass was always the perfect shade of green. Where the sky felt endless. Where everything looked like it belonged in a photograph she would have taken. But something was missing. Something huge. Something impossible to ignore. She was alone. And she was dead. From that place, she could see everything. Her house. Her family. Her life continuing. Without her. At first, no one knew. Her parents thought she was just late. Then worried. Then afraid. Then broken. Her father, Jack Salmon, felt it first. Not logically. Not through evidence. But in his bones. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. The police searched. Neighbors gathered. Flashlights cut through the darkness of the cornfield. Voices called her name. Susie. Susie, where are you? But she wasn't there. Not anymore. She was watching. Screaming silently. I'm here. I'm right here. But no one could hear her. Her mother, Abigail, tried to stay strong. But grief is a slow collapse. It starts small. A crack in your voice. A moment where you forget to breathe. And then suddenly, everything falls apart. Days turned into weeks. Hope turned into silence. And silence turned into acceptance. But Jack Salmon refused to accept it. He studied every detail. Every person. Every possibility. And eventually, his suspicion landed on George Harvey. Susie watched it happen. From heaven, she saw her father connect the pieces. The way Harvey avoided attention. The way he watched. The way something about him just felt wrong. Jack followed him. Watched him. Obsessed over him. But obsession without proof is just madness to everyone else. The police didn't believe him. No one did. Except Lindsay. Susie's younger sister. Lindsay felt something too. Not the same as her father. But close. She felt the absence of Susie like a hole in the world. And slowly, that hole turned into determination. Meanwhile, George Harvey continued his life. As if nothing had happened. That's what made it worse. He wasn't hiding. He wasn't running. He was just existing. Quietly. Normally. Susie couldn't understand it. How could the world keep spinning? How could people laugh? How could mornings still come? But they did. Because that's what life does. It continues. Even when it feels like it shouldn't. From heaven, Susie watched everything. Birthdays. Empty chairs at dinner. Her room frozen in time. Her family slowly drifting apart. Her mother couldn't stay. Grief pulled her away. She left. Not because she didn't love them, but because she didn't know how to survive loving them without Susie. That kind of pain. It changes people. Jack became distant. Lindsay became stronger. The family became something different. Something quieter. Something broken. But Lindsay never stopped searching. One night, she made a decision. She would go into George Harvey's house. The air was cold. The streets were silent. Every step she took felt louder than it should. Her heart pounded so hard it felt like it might give her away. She slipped inside. The house was strange. Too neat. Too empty. Like a place pretending to be normal. She searched. Drawers. Shelves. Closets. And then, she found it. Proof. Something real. Something undeniable. But time was running out. Harvey could return any second. Fear took over. She grabbed what she could. And ran. Barely escaping. For a moment. It felt like justice was close. Like the truth would finally come out. But it didn't. Harvey destroyed the evidence. Slipped away again. And the world kept moving. Susie watched all of it. Every near moment. Every almost. Every missed chance. It hurt. More than dying. Watching the people she loved suffer. And not being able to help. But heaven began to change. Or maybe. She did. She started to understand something. She wasn't just watching loss. She was watching life. Lindsay fell in love. Built a future. Created something new. Her father slowly let go. Not completely, but enough to breathe again. Her mother returned. Trying to rebuild what had been broken. And Susie learned to let go too. But before she did, she got one last moment. A chance. Through another girl, she returned briefly to the world. She felt everything again. The air. The weight of her body. The warmth of being alive. And she found Racing. The boy she never got to love. And in that moment, they kissed. It wasn't just a kiss. It was everything she lost. Everything she never got to experience. Everything she had to leave behind. And then, it was gone. She returned to heaven. But something had changed. She wasn't holding on anymore. Years passed. George Harvey grew old. Alone. Unnoticed. And one day, he slipped. On ice. No one saw. No one knew. And just like that, he was gone. No justice. No trial. No answers. Just silence. But Susie understood now. Justice doesn't always look the way we expect. Sometimes, it's quieter. Sometimes, it's life continuing. Her family healed. Not perfectly, but enough. They laughed again. Loved again. Lived again. And Susie finally let go. Because her story wasn't just about how she died. It was about everything that came after. I was here, she says. I existed. And I was loved. And in the end, that was enough.